Hi, are you going through an extremely difficult time, a life upheaval, whether it's divorce, loss of a loved one, retirement, a health crisis, a major move that maybe you didn't want to do? Well, today we're going to do a three-card tarot reading to examine and to give you some answers on the how to best tame that lion. And in fact, this tarot reading is a companion to the Shine After 50 video that I released a few days ago. And I apologize, I'm a few days late because of technical issues and a whole host of things. But the focus of that video was about realizing that you are stronger than you think. That even in the midst of something very difficult, there are inner resources that you can draw on. So today's reading is going to focus on three elements of this card, of the Strength card in the Major Arcana Tarot deck. We have the Lion. That is the situation, the difficult situation you're wrestling with that is roaring and rearing its head. And we're going to look at what you need to know more of vis-a-vis that situation. Maybe there's something that's been holding you back, that's preventing you from taming it. And then the second card will focus on how to summon the inner power that we all have, that gentle inner power that can tame the beast, represented by the white dressed maiden. And then finally, the third card will represent the infinity sign, the representation of your ability to prevail through life and to regain your sparkle and to shine and enjoy a freaking fantastic life, even in the midst of these life challenges. Hi, I'm Laura, and I welcome you back to my channel, or if this is your first time, welcome. So unfortunately, I have limitations because of technical difficulties, lack of internet. So I'm filming this on my phone. And anyway, it's a long story that you don't need to know about. So I will show you the three cards after I shuffle them. What do you need to know to get you through this situation? I know that for me, as I mentioned before, I've been grieving the loss of my son a year and a half ago. And it's been up and down. It's definitely been a roller coaster. And I've had lots of grief the past week. So let's look at vis-a-vis your situation. What do you need to know? What could really help you? Okay, I'm going to lay out the three cards, and I can't lower my camera. I apologize, but anyway, I will show you each card. So the first card will represent about this situation, whatever it is, bring it to your mind. What have you been overlooking about it? What have you been pushing aside? I know that I pushed aside my grief for a long time because it was so overwhelming. Let's see. Well, we have the Ten of Cups reversed. Now, cups relate to emotions, feelings, that deep sentiments that are within our heart. Typically, when we select the Ten of Cups, when it's upright, the tens represent the completion of a cycle, and the Ten of Cups here represents a very beautiful situation, a family situation, a jubilation, of celebration. This family, the husband and wife, and the two children, it appears to be a girl and a boy, are dancing and celebrating that they had this sense of arrival and that they've come to that ultimate place that they were seeking, their ultimate goal. Beautiful, perhaps, home in the background, and just it's that sense of arrival. Given that it's reversed, it popped up reversed in this reading, I feel what this is suggesting to you, what Spirit is advising us, is that you are feeling in this situation, whatever it is for you, you are feeling you've lost. That's tremendous loss. And of course, that's typical of any such situation. But you are quashing it. You're bearing those feelings because cups relate to feelings, but you're quashing, you're squishing them down. You're trying to fight against them. You're trying to hide from them. That's certainly what I've done many times in my life. And so Spirit is asking you at this time, given this situation, what can you do to start allowing yourself to let those feelings come up. Feel the feelings, that old quotation. Because that's what the maiden in this situation, she's not hiding, she's not running away from the lion. She is facing him squarely on. So I believe what Spirit is advising you is to face this situation square on. Don't deny it any longer. Card number 2, how to fully embrace the qualities of the maiden. Wow, 2 10 cards in reverse. The 10 of Swords reversed. Now the 10 of Swords is a card that many people balk at. They take a pace back when they see this card because it's so depressing, so alarming. You see this individual flat on his face with 10 swords in his back, as if he'd been stabbed in the back 10 times. And of course, swords relate to those thoughts and beliefs, and particularly negative and limiting beliefs. And we see that dark sky. It's like the dark night of the soul. That's what this 10 of Swords, especially when it's upright, represents. Now, given that this landed in the position of how to tap into that power of the maiden, the gentle power, her ability to tame the lion, it is saying, acknowledge to yourself that something that maybe you had hung on to is over. The tens are the number of completion, of an ending. Acknowledge that to yourself. Face it straight on. Don't, again, try to bury it. Seems to be a very strong message here, is that avoidance, avoiding the lion. Face the lion head on. Approach it. And then you will be able to know, be guided into how to tame it. The lion is just basically an illusion of something that's going to overpower you, but it's really something that you can handle. And so Spirit, I feel, is advising you to no longer push things away, to don't bury those feelings from the previous card and your thoughts. Just face things head on. Don't bury them anymore. Face them. Acknowledge them. And then finally, what do you need to prevail, to move you forward, to regain your sparkle and shine, even in the midst of this difficult situation? And we have here, quite interestingly, 6, the Lover's card, a major arcana. That means it has extra weight in the reading. It's extra significance, and it has more of a spiritual dimension to it. And the Lover's card can relate to love situation, but is not limited to that. In essence, the Lover's card is a card of major choices. It's also, you see the scene here that's reminiscent of Adam and Eve in the garden, but they're looking up toward the angel for guidance. And I feel this is a very spiritual card, and you see that illumination above Eve and Adam here. And this can be Archangel Gabriel, or it could be one of the other archangels. But you see them, Adam is looking toward Eve. He's the masculine energy looking toward the feminine energy, and that's what my spiritual coach, Carol Duray, always says, that the feminine energy has to be the leading energy, while the male energy is the power behind it, and then ultimately looking up to Spirit for guidance. So, in essence, Spirit is asking you, is imploring you to look toward it for guidance. And if you're not religious or not spiritually based, then I would say look toward the highest part of yourself for guidance, and also to prevail in the situation, to handle whether it's a difficult divorce or a retirement that maybe had been forced upon you and you didn't want to retire yet, or you're feeling that emptiness of all your children have left the home. Look towards Spirit for your power, for your strength, because Spirit is infinite, just as that infinity sign shows. It has infinite power, and so that is your ultimate power, whether it's your highest self or a spiritual deity that you may turn to. But in essence, overall, I feel the key concepts, the key pieces of advice of this reading are, in handling this situation, to regain your sparkle, is to not push aside your feelings, not repress your thoughts, no matter how difficult it is, and even if you've been resisting the ending of something, look to Spirit for your support, for your ability to prevail from this point forward, vis-a-vis the situation and in other situations that undoubtedly will happen later on in your life. There's no single difficult situation. It's just part of the ebb and flow of life. I hope this reading has been helpful for you. If you've not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and look for the next week's reading, for which I haven't decided yet what the topic will be. But until next time, remember, illumine your mind, inspire your life with tarot.